Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. I love Australia. I've been here for the best part of 20 years now, and I'm very proud to call this place home and to call myself an Australian. What's not to love? The seemingly endless, uncluttered, white sandy beaches up and down the coast, the friendly and charming locals, and let's not forget the cute and cuddly native wildlife. There are, however, a few disadvantages to being all the way over here on this side of the world. I couldn't be much further from my family even if I wanted to, and why would anyone want to be so far away from their family? I've no idea. And that geographical isolation sometimes means that stuff takes ages to get here by post, including this Reise Resolute titanium field watch. I should have been reviewing this one before the Kickstarter campaign started and not 3 days before the Kickstarter campaign ends. But there you go, nothing much I can do about it, just as well it got here in time. As a consequence, the early bird specials at $269 are long gone. There are, however, plenty of spots available if you're still keen on one of these at $289. That's approximately a 7.5% increase, so I'm approximately 7.5% less enthusiastic about the watch than I would have been had I received it a month ago. Don't worry though, if you're watching this video in a week's time, they'll be taking pre-orders on their website at around $310, so you can dial the enthusiasm down by approximately another 7.5%. Let's flip the camera and have a look at this one. My apologies, I got so carried away there laughing at my own bad jokes in the intro of the video that I forgot to say this video is sponsored by Reise. This is a prototype, but they will be sending me one in the colour of my choice for free in due course. Production probably complete towards the end of this year or the beginning of 2021. Now, I will obviously leave a link in the description of the video to the Kickstarter campaign. 4 different colours you can choose from. There's a black one, a grey one, a blue one, and this green one that I have here. I will probably be going for either the grey or the green. All of them feature this lovely kind of fume textured dial. I'll throw in some macro of that over the course of the video as well. It's a really good first attempt, this watch, I must say. Everything super sharp, well designed, clean, legible, good loom, lots of nice little touches as well. Perhaps too good for a first attempt. One of the owners of the company formerly worked for Boulder, so I guess a bit of an advantage there if you've already got the contacts and you've already been working for a company that makes high quality titanium field watches. It's only a small step to come up with one of your own. And titanium seems to be the flavour of the month in Microland at the moment, doesn't it? This is the 3rd Thai watch that I've looked at in only the last 6 weeks. Spinnaker to say titanium, $500, not really recommended. Zelos Swordfish in titanium, $370, all sold out already. And this one, the cheapest of the bunch, coming in at under 300 USD. Regular price on these is going to be pushing 400 USD. Ooh, I'm not so sure. It's always a bit of a struggle for a Kickstarter brand, a brand that's brand new and launching that platform, to then try and sell their watches at an increased price shortly thereafter. But I guess that's one of the disadvantages. There are plenty of advantages, but there are some disadvantages of using Kickstarter. So dimension wise, 40.5mm in diameter, 46mm lug to lug, so super short lug to lug, less than 12mm thick. Now, this is NH35 powered, I know, shock horror, another NH35 powered watch coming in at less than $300. This is one of the slimmest NH35 powered watches that I have looked at on the channel to date. 20mm lug width, and on this supplied leather backed canvas upper strap, this watch weighs in at 61 grams. That's the benefit of titanium. They also have what they describe as an ultra hex coating on it. Titanium is softer than stainless steel. It is certainly more prone to scratching. I talked about this in the Zelos video. A lot of companies choose to coat it, therefore, to try and get a little bit of extra toughness and durability, as Reise have done with this one. Apparently it therefore becomes 6 times as hard as stainless steel, so should keep this nice attractive bead blasted finish for longer. Very similar looking to that Zelos Swordfish titanium, and also therefore the Seiko Samurai. It has that very angular look and feel to it, but I think it suits the watch nicely. Kind of semi-guarded crown here, quite unusual for a field watch. So let's get a zoom in on the dial, and it is all Super clean, super sharp, super legible, very, very nicely done dial, I have to say, this one. Now, Reise meaning travel in German, so Reise Resolute, it's the kind of the sturdy traveller, if you see what I mean. If you look at their campaign, they've got a video with a couple of travellers. There's also a guy doing keepy uppies in a car park and somebody turning over a tractor tyre. I guess they're trying to let you know that it is a tough watch built for anything you can throw at it. Some nice details as well though. Look at those indexes. Double batons at the 12, singles at the 6 and 9. Slightly different from all the other baton indexes. All of those are octagonal shape, again complementing the angular case shape. Nice handset as well. The second hand with a lollipop, the minute hand pushing all the way out to the minute track around the outer edge, just printed on. So Reise logo printed. 100 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown, 330 feet, and automatic just printed there as well. And that minute track and the markers at 15, 30, 45, 60 in Arabics also printed. And I'm sure you can see from these shots, not only does the dial have a color gradient being lighter at the center and more pronounced at the edges, it almost fades to kind of swamp green or black on this one, but it's also thoroughly textured as well. Maybe not as noticeable on the center of the dial, but certainly noticeable when you look at the edges. One other nice little touch is a color match date wheel, and I mean a properly color match date wheel. It is a green date wheel on this model, blue on the blue, grey on the grey, and so on. And once again, a nice little octagonal frame around it. And the nice little touches continue with the loom as well. It's one of these watches, you take it out in the sun and you can see the loom, you can see how much loom there is on the hands and the indexes, and when you switch off the light, that is confirmed. Two-tone though, a very nice touch. So C3 on the hands and on the majority of the indexes, but those little segmented batons at the 12, the 6 and the 9, they've got BGW9 blue inlaid in the tips as well. And as you can also see, both the dots on the hour markers printed on the minute track around the outer edge and the Arabics at 15, 30, 45 and 60 are also loomed in BGW9. If I turn up the speed, the printed ones around the outer edge are the first things to go, but the hands and indexes hang on resolutely, one might say. Screw-on caseback is also made of titanium. It's bereft of any fancy logos or insignias on the back, but this is, as described, a no-nonsense field watch, so I think it suits it fine. Usual spec sheet though, advertising the NH35, the Ultra Hex titanium, the 100 meters of water resistance, and the flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. There is a small Reise logo here, the kind of R there, which is replicated on the crown. The strap is a colour matched canvas upper with colour matched stitching matching the dial and genuine leather underneath for extra comfort. It has the Reise brand stamped on the other side and a proper piece of titanium hardware. Again, that kind of bead blasted finish to match the case. Nice to see that. Not sure how waterproof this one is going to be long term. I guess it's going to be splash proof rather than waterproof. I believe though the campaign has done so well, they have added a complimentary Paratrooper Marine Nationale style strap as an added bonus. I believe you can also spec on a bracelet for about $100 more. Not sure if I'd be going for that. I think keeping the price low and sticking with the original strap. This would look great on a kind of Barton Bands silicone rubber one, I reckon, as well. I'm not going to talk at length about the Seiko NH35, but I will take the case back off of this watch and show you what it looks like in case you've forgotten, though I'm sure you're all as familiar with it as I am. I think perhaps there's a little bit of fatigue now setting into the microbrand market regarding the NH35, its ubiquity and its prevalence in pretty much everything under $500 US. But it's arguably all you really need in a watch, and they're great movements. What are the alternatives though? It's upwards in terms of price for a Miyota 9015, and those have unidirectional winding. They can be a little bit wobbly, a little bit noisy on wrist, or it's downhill to the Miyota 8000 series, and I would not thank you for a Miyota 8000 series and a watch costing anything over than $150, frankly. So the NH35 is here to stay, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And on wrist, I think it looks great. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. 40mm or thereabouts has always been a bit of a sweet spot for me. Again, really nice, clean, super sharp piece of design here. And at a glance, legibility, again, no problem here at all. The brushed silver hands and brushed silver indexes contrasting nicely against that darker tones of the Fume dial, particularly towards the edges. And it's a big handset, like I mentioned. You get a nice clean read from them, no problem at all. Same applies outside. This is a prototype. I reckon they could have done with a couple more layers of anti-reflective coating. Perhaps that's something that they will resolve for production units. On wrist, super short lug to lug and drilled lugs, meaning you're going to have no problem swapping this one out for a rubber strap that I suggested, or the paratrooper one that they give you as a bonus. And the watch is slim enough that you should be able to wear a Marine Nationale style underneath without it causing problems under a shirt cuff. Moans and niggles. Well, like I said in the intro, I'm 7.5% less enthusiastic than I would have been had these still been available for purchase at $269 USD. $289 I still think is a reasonable price for what is on offer. Very nice design and a coated titanium case. 300 plus, okay, 399 the full RRP. I think there are probably going to be better options for you at that price, but that is not today's problem, that is next year's problem. The strap. I've had some conflicting information from the brand owner about the strap. Like I said, this is a prototype. It has seen some considerable use, as you can see there. I got an email saying that they were going to reinforce these holes. Then I got an email saying that they weren't going to reinforce these holes. I think they probably should have reinforced these holes. It is such a good looking watch. It's such a clean and sharp design. I think that will make it look a bit scruffy with use. You know, drilled lugs, it's not a big deal to swap it out for something else, but I would have preferred to have seen them spend a bit of extra dollars reinforcing those holes and giving the whole watch a cleaner look overall. And finally, and you won't hear me say this all that often, I reckon it could have been bigger. 40.5 is just a bit over average, but because it's not a diver, because it has a smooth fixed bezel rather than a rotating bezel with numerals and so on, it doesn't really look like a 40 or feel like a 40 because it's that super light titanium at a smidge over 60 grams. I reckon they could have gone to 42 mil, no problems at all here. If they kept the lug to lug down to about 47, 48, that would have been an eminently wearable field watch that looked a little bit bigger and a little bit bulkier, but still wore nice and slim and light. I don't often say that, but yes, for once, I reckon they could have gone a little larger. But overall, a great first attempt. They've clearly found a little niche for themselves in the market with a well-priced automatic titanium field watch. 350 pledges already on Kickstarter. In these uncertain times for a non-dive watch, I think that speaks volumes, and I think there are going to be 350 very happy customers when these head through their letterboxes at the beginning of next year. So there you have it, the Reise Resolute titanium field watch. Such a super sharp, super clean design. You can tell that this may be a first effort, but that the guys behind the company have got plenty of experience in the watch industry. Not really much to complain about with this one. I would have preferred myself if they had reinforced the holes on that canvas strap. I think it's going to look a little bit ratty against that super sharp, super edgy, super clean titanium case before too long. And obviously the price gets less and less good the longer you leave it. $399, I reckon that's stretching the friendship a little bit, but if you can still pick one of these up for less than $300 and you're into that type of watch, I reckon that's a pretty good deal. Thanks for watching, I will see you soon.